Since I was a little girl, they would tell us that it's illegal to pick bluebonnets. I mean, this was something that was deeply ingrained into our psyche as Texans, is you don't pick bluebonnets. And I wondered if it's because of this. But they have these little bean pods. Let me see if I can find one. But I've been watching them over the past couple of years, and when they pop open, then their little seeds, their beans, fall on the ground, and they're great self-seeders. So I was wondering, is that the reason why they say it's illegal? Because if they've gone to the trouble to plant these beautiful bluebonnets all along the side of the highways, it's a Texas icon, right? It's literally our state flower. So this is a lupine, actually. It's a Lupinus texensis. Texans is going to take one. We'll take this one right here. So here's the bean pod. And if I open this up, so there's one right there. So that's the seed. This one has three little beans or peas in there. And now what'll happen is this little pod will dry up, it'll split open, and it'll just lay those seeds down into the bed. Because I understand why they don't want anybody picking the bluebonnets on the side of the road, because then they won't self-seed. But it's actually not against the law to pick a bluebonnet. That was a rumor or a myth that was started because there is a law from 1901 that says you can't pick anything off highways, the national parks. You can't pick anything from those places that are state owned. So it is not illegal to pick a bluebonnet. So I can go pick these bluebonnets if I wanted to and make a flower arrangement in my house. Now, I want these bluebonnets everywhere because they are a nitrogen fixer and they're so beautiful, and they're one of the first things to bloom in the springtime. But I would love to have pounds of this seed. But you know what? I did this little area right here. Actually, my grandsons and I did this little area right here when we first put in the bed. I knew that someday this mulch would break down into soil or compost. It's all mixed up, right? It's the subsoil underneath. The earthworms have churned everything. But these seeds grew whenever the time was right. Whenever the temperatures were right, whenever the soil was right, whenever the moisture was right, we just threw these seeds straight into that mulch. And I knew that someday they would grow. So whenever they drop those seeds, it's usually a bunch of seeds in one little clump. I think I want to disperse them more than that. So I am going to collect some of these seeds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to watch them. When they start to pop open on their own, then I will start collecting some of those seeds, and I will go ahead and just put them more where I would like to have them in the rest of the gardens or all along the front fence line. But the thing that you need to know about this, if you're going to put them in a lawn, is you really can't mow them and expect them to come back the next year unless they've been allowed to grow up into maturity and drop their seeds naturally, and then you can mow. There are a lot of nitrogen fixers that I love. This is one of my favorite nitrogen fixers. And I think I'll give a list of my favorite nitrogen fixers in another video. But one of the reasons I love this is because something like peanuts, it has the capability to fix nitrogen into the soil. But when you pull them, you pull out all of those little nodules that had the capability of releasing that nitrogen into the soil. So what happens with this one, it lives, it collects the nitrogen from the atmosphere, it pulls it down through the plant into the roots, and if it's inoculated with the right rhizobium, a bacteria, and then it dies or it's cut back, then it will release that natural fertilizer into the soil. Which is perfect because once those bluebonnets are done, I'm going to be planting something into a little nitrogen plot. Favorite nitrogen fixers in the garden. It's just beautiful. I live in Texas, so it's very appropriate. So yeah, okay, that'll do it for this one. Until next time, bye for now. Y'all stay safe out there.